Morning, y'all. So it is our last day here at Catherine's Landing. Time to start getting everything loaded. We got a lot of stuff packed up last night. I'm gonna drain and flush the tanks, get everything hooked back up, secured, and we're gonna hit the road. Gonna stop at Whitetail Ranch in Kalb, Texas, I think is how you say it. It's a harvest host, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm gonna sweep off the roof, get all the water off because we got some more rain last night. But get the water off the roof and start getting her loaded up. Wake all these girls up.
Travel day. We are pulling out of Catherine's Landing RV Resort, and I just have to say we had a fantastic time here. This place is great, you guys. They've got multiple laundry facilities, bathrooms, showers. Of course, we didn't need that, but we did do laundry, or Josh did laundry yesterday.
Yes, I am a laundry guy.
And we really loved it. You know, we were on the waterfront. We didn't get in the lake on the river. We went to Magic Springs, Crystal Falls, to the water park. We did a lot of pool time, endured a lot of rain, visited with friends and family, and my best friend came down yesterday, which was awesome. And we just had a really good time here. This place, we're pulling out right now, but you can kind of see the spaces are, you know, you've got plenty of room, of course, full hookups. You've got every kind of RV here. You've got everything from, you know, Class C's and fifth wheels and lots of buses. Okay.
Make sure we left our spot clean. Because always make sure leave your spot clean.
Yeah.
It's aggravating to pull up and having to deal with somebody else's doing.
But there's a little Winnebago right there. There are a lot of Class A's here. We noticed there are some very shady sites here on the property. They're kind of I think they're called the wooded sites, and they're tucked back into the trees, which are really cool. That's where we saw the lightning bugs earlier. But we really enjoyed our time here. I wish it hadn't rained as much as it did, but usually in the afternoons it was cleared up. Of course, this morning it was nice and bright, of course, on the travel day when we're leaving. But the girls had an awesome time. They have had a lot of water, but let me tell you, this humidity here, I lived in Arkansas for 30 years, and I know humidity, and I know what it's like here, but I forgot how bad it is. I don't necessarily want to take the dry heat over the humidity, but, you know, all in all, this place is great. We did not go into town. Hot Springs and Hot Springs Village is fabulous. They have a hot spring that runs out of a fountain in downtown. There's bathhouses. There's the Ohio Club where Al Capone used to hang out back in the day. There's lots of trails and waterfalls and hiking, and there's so much to do in Hot Springs. But given the weather and how hot it is, the girls would not like a hike, I don't think, and I think we would wear the boys out with just the temperatures. But in the fall or the spring, Hot Springs is a great place to come do that. Lots to see. It's very beautiful here. So we are going to head out, and we are going to go stop at a harvest host on the way home. We're going to go to DeKalb, Texas, stay at the Whitetail Ranch, and we're excited to see that. They got a farmer's market, some animals, and I think the girls will really like it.
Yep. So definitely, if you've made it this far in this crazy adventure, like and subscribe.
How's your drive, babe?
Don't listen to RV Safe. Windy, windy, windy.
This has been the last, what, half hour?
Yep.
After 3/4 of a mile, turn left.
And probably we've only gone 20 miles.
Yeah, it's been 25-mile-an-hour S-curves.
One right after another.
Yeah.
When you're leaving Catherine's Landing, just go get on 70.
Yeah, it didn't want us to go to 70. We thought maybe the overpass was too short or something, but we didn't want to risk it, so we just followed.
Yeah. I should have.
Maybe risk it.
Yes.
This is crazy. It's been very slow going and very bumpy. I mean, it's beautiful. It's good scenery. I mean, all the trees.
After a quarter of a mile, turn left towards
Forward.
AR7 South,
We're about to
Arkadelphia.
turn on Highway 7, then we got 3 miles and we should be on the interstate, so here's hoping, right?
Yep.
Almost there. Hey, so do you want to talk about our celebrity encounter yesterday?
That's up to you.
So Mary Beth came to visit and we were in the pool. The weather finally cleared out and we were all swimming, and I noticed a lady that came in and she had like 4 kids with her that all looked just like her. She's very beautiful. Like, she was noticed when she walked in, but her husband joined her a little later with 2 other kids because they have 6 total. And Mary Beth leaned over to me in the pool and she's like, "Hey, is that Dawson?" And I was like, "I don't know anybody named Dawson. Like, I really don't know anyone named Dawson." And I was like, "Dawson." And I looked over at him and he was playing with his kids and he's tossing them around in the water or whatever. And our kids have been over there playing with their kids. And he turned around where I could see him and I'm like, "Oh, I know, right? That looks just like him." It looked like James Vanderbeek, Dawson from Dawson's Creek, who I know as Mox from Varsity Blues. But I was like, "Yeah, he looks just like him." And then I looked at him and I was like, "No, that's him. It has to be him. Like, the similarity, it has to be him." And I remember he had done a TikTok, and I hashtag Texas a lot on my TikTok, and one had popped up from him about how he hates the fire ants in Texas. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if he is over here just on family vacation. So I went to grab my phone and I pulled up TikTok, pulled up his profile picture, and it was him and that lady and the 6 kids. So, yeah, they're hanging out, I guess, wanting some peace and quiet. We didn't bother him. I mean, we just treated him like there were anybody else there. But we did get a couple shots of him because we took a family photo. And we just happened to be facing to where he was behind us in his chair because, you know, Pixar, it didn't happen, right? But it was interesting. I never thought we'd have a celebrity sighting at our ski resort in Arkansas. So.
I agree with his TikTok about fire ants.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's actually very funny. But we left him alone, and everybody, I don't know if anybody else recognized who he was, but they didn't seem to bother him. Actually, when we left the resort this morning, they were out of the pool. Anyway, one of those random stories from the road. All right, well, we made it to Whitetail Ranch, and it's been an eventful start to our Harvest Host Day, so I'll get some footage of the ranch and what's all is going on here, but you want to tell them what happened?
All right, so we get in, pulled in, get backed up. Generator's running. Been running the generator since we left Catherine's Landing to keep the to keep the trailer cool with the air conditioners running. We get here, I open the door. First off, when I open the door, there's my cabinet for above the TV broken, sitting there. Glass was still intact, so I think I can fix that. We'll do that probably when we get home. But got that, set that out of the way, got inside, no ACs. Generator's running, go in and look. The only plugs that are working are the ones off the inverter running off the solar.
You know, it's hot.
Yeah, so it is 92 degrees here in, I don't know. DeKalb, yeah,
Texas.
DeKalb, Texas. And it's hot. It's not like Lubbock, no wind. It is beautiful, except no AC in a big fiberglass box.
Thank goodness for the cloud cover we've had.
Yes.
We got here.
So anyways, I started looking around, threw a comment up on the Keystone Fuzion toy hauler group. Guy, can't remember his name right at the moment, CK something. Posted up there, hey, look, check the breakers. Well, I had already gone through all the breakers and everything. He said check the breakers on the front of the generator. So if you have an Onan 5500 and you don't know this, I'm going to post a picture right here over Nicole's face. There's 2 little breakers, 2 30-amp breakers inside the generator. It's going to be on the left-hand side. Pull your cover towards you, lift it up. One of my breakers was turned off. Kicked that over. We have AC.
Thank you, Jesus, because It was cooler outside than it was in the camper,
Yes.
and it was hot. And if I don't have a body of water in this heat,
There's a pond.
I'm just not very pleasant about it.
No. Then, while trying to figure
First
out
world
the
problems, I know.
yes, while trying to figure out the AC issue and the generator issue, I noticed the bottom of our camper, the underbelly, sagging. So, come with me.
We do have a very nice, peaceful
Kitty,
setup
kitty, kitty.
for tonight.
They've got kitties.
Yeah, we got a kitty under the truck. You'll see lots of animals out here, and the boys have been running free and living their life.
All right, you'll probably have to stand. So let me see the camera for a second. So this is what I noticed. The whole underbelly, several of the screws have come loose, and it's just hanging down. I've seen a lot of them come down and stuff. It's good there, but and you can see where it's all hanging down. Well, I crawled underneath it and pushed up on the underbelly, and water just started pouring out off the sides. I don't know if we've got a leak in the camper or all of the rains from Catherine's Landing or whatnot. So I'm going to get this all buttoned up, and since we're probably not going to be in any rains for a while, check to see if that's all it was, because we had torrential downpours for a few days. So I'm gonna get under here, get all of this water out and get it dried up, and if I can get it to last till we get home, I may pull the whole underbelly down to look for a leak and hope and pray there's not, but it is a newer camper and we all know how those go. So it's fixing your camper in pretty places. Alright, so coming to you from underneath the camper, we were able to get the underbelly fixed. Luckily our amazing harvest hose had a bunch of fender washers, and I had some self-tapping screws and was able to put it all back up, and I added some center supports also up there. So it was hanging down enough that it was actually rubbing on this axle, but I've got it up and tucked in, so we should be good to go now. Generator's up and running, air conditioner's running, and all that's left to fix is the cabinet, so we'll save that for another day. While I was working underneath the trailer, Nicole decided to check out the Whitetail Ranch.
Itchy.
I heard the pig snort.
Try not to get too close to them. This is where we're staying for the night.
Y'all ain't never seen a donkey in your life. It's the biggest chickens ever. Baron, you almost as big as the donkey.
Baron. Watch out for the chicken.
That's a guinea, man. He's mad. He gonna come get us.
He better mind his business. I don't like chickens.
Oh, they're chasing bugs.
Fuck, fuck.
Move, guinea.
Don't run over him.
They'll move.
Okay. It's been the morning. We set our alarm for 5 o'clock to get out by 6. It's now
6:37.
6:37. But my phone died in the middle of the night, and so the alarm didn't go off. Josh was already up, and then I guess, what, did you lose track of time or something?
I was just sitting there and I was looking for parts for the generator. I was looking for some oil filter stuff.
And then he rushed in, and he's like, your alarm didn't go off. It's 5:30. And I'm like, trying to figure out life, and we jumped up, and the girls are still in their jammies in the back seat. But, so yeah, I was trying to get my coffee down. It was like, you know, and we don't have to be home by a certain time. We just want to get home early because we have 7.5 hours road time plus stops.
I want to get through Dallas.
Yeah, we have to go through Dallas and Fort Worth and Arlington. So we don't have to be home at a certain time, but it'd be nice to get home in a decent hour and get the trailer cleaned out and get home and sleep in our own beds for
2 nights.
2 nights before we go boondock in a parking lot for 5 days. But we're going to drive about 107 miles to Roy City and stop at Buc-ee's and get some breakfast and get the girls' clothes on. Whitetail Ranch, you guys, if you are ever in this area in East Texas, stop here just for the night. Just even if you don't have to, just stop here. Peggy and Jay are phenomenal hosts. They
Turn
are
right
the
to
sweetest
I-30
people
West
that you will meet. They have a lot of acreage on a farm out here in DeKalb County or DeKalb, Texas. And we got there, and you have to call when you turn off the interstate, because they're literally just a mile off of I-30. You would think you're out in the middle of nowhere. And we called, and of course when we called, they had just run out on the UTVs to run some errands on the farm. And but she gave us the gate code, and she talked us through where to park and everything. And we had a ton of space. Before she hung up, she goes, oh, by the way, let those pups out of that camper and let them run free. And they did. The boys never get to, aside from the backyard, they never get to run free. And I mean, Baron was galloping all over the place. Oliver was spilling all the things. I mean, they had the best time.
Oliver didn't know what to think about the donkey though.
Yeah, Oliver ran up on a donkey and started barking at it, and so Baron ran up on it. They were in a fence. And that donkey laughed at them. He started doing his thing. It was so funny. It scared Baron. He was scared of the donkey. But they had like 4 miniature donkeys. They had 2 wild hogs. They're wild hogs.
Semi-wild.
But they come for dinner every night and every morning. So we got to see them. There's guineas running around. They have a little store that you can go in. We bought some jellies and some pepper
and
flakes.
Those jellies were amazing.
They're so good. They're homemade. And the peanut brittle was fabulous. But you couldn't ask for better hosts. Peggy and Jay, and then
everybody was just super nice.
Yeah, they were great. But
luckily, Jay, whenever we had the problem with the underbelly of the camper falling out, Jay, he was right there. He asked if I needed any tools or any help, and I told him, I said, well, I may have to run into town for some washers. He said, hang on. He brought me out a whole big old box of washers, so I was able to get the underbelly of the camper back up so we can go home. And super nice people.
They're great. We had a blast with them. But definitely stop there if you're out this way. It's worth it. It's worth just to break up your trip and visit with Peggy and Jay.
Yes, both super great, amazing hosts.
Yes.
Can't say enough good things about them. They took care of us and had lots of rooms. Just a great place to stop.
It was so quiet. But we are headed to Buc-ee's. So a $200 gas stop.
And that's just for diesel.
Yeah. We're going to get some breakfast. We're going to stop in Weatherford on the way, and then over by Abilene, and then we'll be back home in Lubbock. So, got a long day ahead of us. We're going to listen to some church on the way. We can listen to our church online and get a list together for next week. So anyway, we made it back.
Yep, we are finally back home. So trip went pretty good for the most part.
Okay.
About 1,400 miles total to from here to Catherine's Landing and back. Truck did good. Got almost 8 miles per gallon. So we had a good trip coming home.
It's hot here, but you know what? It's not.
I can
humid.
breathe.
Yeah, I can breathe. It's not like breathing in soup. It's hot, but I can breathe, which is nice.
Yep. So if you've made it this far along through our little chaotic video, then thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're doing a 48-hour turnaround to unload the camper, clean the camper, reload the camper. Gonna load the police motorcycle up, and we are going to Amarillo, Texas to do the Iron Horse shootout. The second, what is it? Second?
It's your second.
Well, it's the second one that I made.
I don't know. But we're going from luxury RV camping to boondocking in a parking lot in downtown Amarillo, so it's going to be a little hard shift for us, but that's all right. It'll be fun.
So, everybody stay safe. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.